Hey, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Zero Kurasagi here, back with another video, and today I have for you my Persona 3 Reloaded Persona guide, I guess you would call it. So I'm going to try to run through this pretty quickly. Now, the way the personas are in this game, there's only a few things that make a persona different from any other persona, and that is their weaknesses and their stats. What skills they have on can be changed even if they can't naturally know those skills. I'm not going to go into all the different ways of being able to do that, from fusing different monsters that know the skills and inherit trees and all that stuff, versus using the cards that you get in the game and just flat out teaching them those skills. So you can kind of figure out how to do it yourself, but I will tell you what personas I use, what personas you should probably shoot to make towards the end game, and how you should build them. So first, I have my starter persona. This is the persona I usually go into battle with because he has all of the auto ma skills, auto mataru, auto Maraku, Auto Masuku. So you have the one that raises the whole party's attack, raises the whole party's defense, and the whole party's accuracy plus evasiveness. There is another one that raises the party's crit. You could put that on and remove the alley dance, but I didn't feel it was really necessary. And I just wanted to have that ability to evade incoming attacks a little bit more often, because he doesn't have any weaknesses, but he could still get hit by certain attacks. So also have the spell master, so he can use his spells to set up. I have debilitate, the best debuff in the game, lowers the foe's attack, defense, and accuracy for 3 turns, pretty much for bosses. You have charge, which doubles the damage of your physical attacks, and concentrate, which doubles the damage of your magical. So the idea is to start with this guy, either debuff the enemy, charge, or concentrate, preferably debuff if you don't have a party member that has debilitate already. Then you would go either charge or concentrate to, depending on what the enemy's weakness, hit them with physical attack or hit them with a magical attack. So yeah, that's him. You could also put the skill that raises your attack, defense, and evasiveness on him, but I didn't put it on him because it only can be cast on one person, and we already have these skills, so it's not really necessary unless the battle lasts longer than 3 turns, because these only last for 3 turns. Then at that point, you could also just use Fuka's ability to raise the party's attack, defense, and evasion. So I didn't see a need to put it on, if you wanted to know why I didn't put it on. But yeah, you could do this with any persona. I just used this one because it was the earliest one I could get all of these key skills on him, being these 7, and then this one was just an extra yay skill. So yeah, you could do this with any persona though. Next, I guess I would start with the elements, because you want to pretty much have a persona to deal with each element that's in the game. So starting with slash. So this is my slash persona, and all of the physical attacking personas are going to pretty much be the same. They're just going to have high strength, because that is very important, and they're going to have the single target attack, the AoE attack, boost, amp, life aid, amped, crit rate boost, and crit rate amp. So all of your physical attackers are pretty much going to have all of these same skills on the side, and then these will be relative to slash, was it slash, bash, shot, whatever, strike, yeah, slash, strike, shot. So yeah, Susanoo, He has the Brave Blade, Severe, Slash, Vorpal Blade, Severe, AoE. Pretty self-explanatory. Yes, these do stack the boosts in the amp. So it says can stack. So that's giving you 75% on your slash damage. Life Aid is so when you're doing fights and you're just killing stuff, you have some sort of regen for your health. You don't really need it as much for the SP. And then all of these are necessary for physical attackers because physical attacks are all about getting crits. Like if you're dealing with an enemy that has no weakness, but you can hit them with a physical attack, you want to crit so that you can get the one spore and jump on them and all that fun stuff. But yeah, all these do stack. This doubles the chance of crit, this raises your crit rate, and this greatly raises it. So all of these do stack. So you'll see as I go down the line of my other physical attackers, Shiva, which is doing my Pierce. Oh, it's Pierce in this game. Okay, that's doing my Pierce. We have our Severe, one target, Severe AoE. Now, Shiva is unique. This is an actual unique skill that only Shiva can get. So as far as your Pierce user, I think you kind of have to go Shiva. Of course, the boost, the amp, like I said, and then the skills on the side are all the same. There's really no room for improvement with these. This is pretty much what you have to do. You could not use the AoE skill because later on in the game, enemies will start like repelling and absorbing certain attacks that you might not want to just AoE everything. So you could remove these and maybe put on single strike boost to make this do even more damage. That is probably the only other way I would go with any of the physical attackers. And then the last one, we have Ashura. He is the strike guy, massive strike damage, and then you have the heavy strike AoE. I don't think there is a severe or massive strike AoE. So this is kind of the best you can get, and it hits 1 to 2 times. Of course, your strike boost, amp, and then your usual stuff. So yeah, all your physical attackers are pretty much going to be just like this. Moving on to the actual elements, we will start with fire. So this is pretty much how you're going to build your elemental users. We have our severe fire attack, we have our heavy fire damage AoE. There are no fire AoE, no elemental AoEs that are stronger than heavy. So heavy is as strong as the AoEs get. Severe is as strong as the single targets get. Of course, you have your boost and your amp, which does stack 75%, and then life aid for survivability. Now, that's all that's really necessary for the elemental users. You can put on stuff like repel ice, which obviously he was weak to ice, but repel ice, you kind of cover that weakness. You could put on concentrate so that you can concentrate with this actual persona, but I don't really need to use that because I have my buffer persona. Single target boost is good because you want to power up your strongest attack like Inferno. So this might be kind of recommended to have on all of your elemental personas. Moving on, my ice persona, I chose to use Satan. Again, all of these, you do not have to use these specific personas. I'm just kind of showing you the setup so you can put it on whatever personas that you want to use. You have Diamond Dust, which is your severe ice attack. You have your heavy AoE, boost, amp, life aid. I have the single target boost, and Spellmaster. This is a good bonus, not really necessary, but it reduces the SP cost of your spells so that Diamond Dust doesn't cost an arm and a leg to do. Of course, your single target boost is for more damage for your single target Diamond Dust attack. Concentrate if you want to put on Concentrate. There is another ability that you could put on these, but I'll tell you why I didn't put them on in the end. But if you do want to put them on, I'll let you know what the other ability that you can put on any of these elemental builds specifically. to make them even better. So next, after ice, we have lightning. Obviously using Odin. Odin learns this skill naturally, so it was kind of given that I would use Odin for this. He has the severe, the heavy AoE, boost, amp, life aid. Single target boost to make his single target attack stronger. Repel dark to cover his weakness. Cannot cover all his weaknesses. That's kind of, it is what it is. And he has Spellmaster to reduce the cost of his severe attack. Self-exclamatory. Next, going on to Wind, I chose to use Norn. She has her single target severe attack, her heavy AoE, boost, amp, life aid, single target boost. Had growth because she was very low level. I think you got her around like 60 something. So just see from literally 60 something, she's at 94 by keeping growth 3 on her. So there is an ability that you could put on your elemental personas called magical ability, which I have on this persona. Magical ability automatically strengthens non-almighty magic spells by 25%. So this can stack with your other buffs for your spells to make them do even more damage. The reason I don't have them on these personas is because they are on my main character. He has magic ability from this weapon. So depending on what skills you have on your main character, you might not need certain skills on your personas. So this is kind of where the customization is a little bit better in this game. By having different abilities on your persona, on your main character versus on your personas. And of course this does stack with the other fire buff or fire boost, fire amp, you know, all the amps, all the boosts. So yeah, that's why I don't have magical ability on any of those personas. It also frees up a space, so hey, more room for other things. And moving on, our next element is light. So the thing about light and dark in this game is they don't really have very powerful skills to go with them. So instead of just focusing on raw damage, you kind of have to go the other route with the insta-kills, which I don't really like, so I don't really use the dark and light personas. But if you want an example of a good dark/light persona to use, I have Daisoju, which is one of the earlier personas you get, kind of like mid-game, and he is my Bless persona. He has the a unique skill of the high chance insta-kill, which high chance I believe is like 70% chance, and then with the boosts it increases this chance even more. Also gave him Divine Judgment, which like halves the enemy's attack. They have to be weak to light in order to, or half their HP. They have to be weak to light for this to even work. But if they can't be insta-killed, you can reduce their health. Outside of that, life aid, of course, because once you do the skill, you kill the enemy and you want to recover some of that HP and SP back. Stack Invigorate 1, 2, and 3. So on your turn, you're going to recover, what is that, 15 SP every turn. Then you'll also get SP back from the life aid, which will pretty much refund you for the cost of using this skill once. Now, if you use this and it misses, that's another thing. Also, no dark to cover his weakness. So that's what I went for the dark route. You can go a different route or light route. That's why I went for the light route and the dark route. You can go a different way if you want to try to get the dark boost, dark amp, but they don't have a single target severe attack. They only really have the heavy AoE damaging attack like all the other spells have. So I just chose not to worry about it, and honestly I've been fine with it. Alice is the dark version of Daisoju. She pretty much has the high chance dark insta-kill skill. I gave her Dynamic Degree. You don't get this normally. Muda Boost, which will boost this to increase the chance. Life Aid, Invigorate 1, 2, and 3, and No Light to cover her weakness. This is pretty much what I decided to do for the light and dark. And then there is Almighty, which I chose to use Setaneo. I assume I am pronouncing that correctly. He's pretty much my ultimate persona. He has the Sinful Shell, which does massive damage, massive almighty damage, and has a medium chance of dark insta-kill all foes. So this would be boosted if I had the dark Hamon boost. Could put Muda boost on him, and this would actually boost this, but I'm not really using this for the insta-kill. I'm kind of just using it just for the almighty damage. There is an almighty skill that's stronger than this called Morning Star that you get from Haley. I don't know how to pronounce that name. It is slightly stronger than this skill, but not by much. But if you want just raw damage, yes, get Morning Star. Use Morning Star instead of this for more damage, but having the insta kills helps, because Almighty, there are no like, you only get Almighty boost. There is no Almighty amp as far as I know in this game, so you only get the 25%. I added the multi-target just to buff it 15% more, but it's not going to do crazy numbers of damage. And also being an AoE, it's not going to really help with bosses. And the insta-kill obviously is not going to help with bosses either. So yeah, it's really used for mobs, and outside of mobbing, you really want to use your other personas. You don't really want to use this for bossing. He's also my healer. He has Salvation because I have Spellmaster on him, which is halving his SP cost for his skills anyway, so hey, why not give him Salvation? Life Aid, of course, because you need that Life Aid. Life Aid is pretty much on like every persona I have, because after in the battle, you want to be able to recover SP and HP no matter what. Like, it's gonna help. Then I just gave him Alley Dance and the Angelic Grace, which just increases evasion, so he will most likely evade most attacks. And you know, he knows light, drains dark, resists all other elements. The only other thing I could probably put on him is Null Physical, which you get from the Messiah. Null Physical literally nulls all physical attacks. So yeah, if you want to do that, you could add Null Physical on him. Messiah, I feel like, is the best persona in the game. There is another persona that you need to max out all of the social links to get, and the only thing it really has is a unique skill called Victory Cry, which if you've played any of the Persona games or Shin Megami games or whatever, you would know that Victory Cry will fully heal your HP and SP after winning a battle, so it's just the better Life Aid. But by that time you're able to make him, you don't really need Victory Cry. It's kind of like overkill, but if you maxed out all the social links, might as well get it. But unfortunately, on my first playthrough, I wasn't able to do it because I didn't want to sit here and follow a guide to tell me exactly what to do every day. I kind of want to play the video game like I want to play it. So I ended up not being able to max out 2 of the social links. So I wasn't able to get the final persona because of that. But yeah. A quick one note, just for anybody who does not have the DLC, if you cannot make Samael, you can use the Messiah, or you can use Haley as your almighty persona. Just make sure that you get Haley first to learn Morning Star, and then you can either just keep Haley with the Morning Star and make them your almighty person, or persona fuse up to the Messiah and make sure you carry over the Morning Star and use this persona instead. Yeah, sorry, quick note, just in case you did not purchase the DLC. That's pretty much it for this video. If you're watching, thanks for watching. You have any other questions, put them down in the comments. I will try to answer it depending on how far in the future you decide to watch this video. With that being said, thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next video.